So let's jump right in. Today, we're going to look at a strategic framework that's built for leadership. And I want to be clear, this is not about marketing tactics or your next campaign rollout. No, this is about the fundamental structure of meaning that your entire organization creates every single day. And more importantly, how you, as a leader, can start architecting it with real intention.
A brand is not a logo, a message, or a campaign. A brand is a system of meaning held together in the mind. You know, that one idea right there, it changes everything. It immediately moves the whole concept of brand out of the marketing department and puts it exactly where it belongs, in the executive suite.
To really get this, we have to adopt a whole new definition of brand. We've got to shift our thinking away from the brand as some kind of company-owned asset, a line item on a balance sheet. Instead, we need to see it for what it truly is, something that exists entirely in the minds of your customers, your employees, and all your stakeholders. It's not what you say it is, it's what they perceive it to be.
Now, the framework has a name for this. It calls it a mental object. And what's so powerful about this idea is that phrase, a structured system. See, people don't experience your company in little isolated pieces. They take every single signal, from your product's design to the tone of your support team, and they interpret it all holistically. And over time, all those little exposures, they form a single object in their mind. And that object is your brand, for better or for worse.
Okay, so this brings us right to the core business problem this whole framework is designed to solve: fragmentation. If a brand is supposed to be a single, coherent mental object, why do so many brand strategies feel so disjointed? And why do they ultimately fail to make any real, lasting impact?
Well, the source is almost always internal. It's baked right into the very structure of our organizations. I mean, think about it. When your product team is in one silo and your marketing team is another, and then you have operations and HR in their own worlds, you are, by design, fragmenting the signals you send out. Each department is busy optimizing for its own goals, and in doing that, they unintentionally create this chorus of conflicting messages. And this is absolutely crucial. The real damage here isn't just weak communication. That's just a symptom. The real strategic level problem is that you are creating incoherent meaning. You're forcing your customer to hold 2, 3, 4 contradictory ideas about who you are, what you stand for, and what you promise. And let's be honest, a confused mind never buys, it never trusts, and it definitely never advocates for you.
So how do we fix this? This is exactly where the Brand Constellations Framework comes into play. It gives you, as a leadership team, a strategic lens to actually see this system of meaning, to make it visible, and, most importantly, to make it manageable. So, a brand constellation. That's the name for the pattern of meaning we've been talking about. And the metaphor is just perfect, isn't it? Just like a real constellation in the night sky, the meaning doesn't come from any single star. It emerges from the relationship between them, the pattern they all form together.
And this is exactly what makes the framework so incredibly powerful. It gives you a brand new way to see your own organization. Because once you see the pattern of meaning your company is actually creating, whether you meant to or not, you can never go back. You can't unsee it. You can't look at the individual parts in isolation ever again.
Okay, so what are these components? What are the stars that make up this constellation? Well, the framework identifies 8 primary sources of meaning. And it's so important to understand, this is not a checklist of tactics. These are fundamental, deep sources of meaning. And here they are: your product itself, your placement, so where you show up, your price point, your promotion, which is the obvious one. But then it gets more interesting. The category you choose to compete in, your competitors, who provide that crucial contrast, your company, meaning your culture and your behavior, and even the type of customer you attract. The key insight here is that you can't just be strong in one area and hope it covers up for misalignment elsewhere. A brilliant product with a totally misaligned price just creates confusion. It doesn't build a strong brand.
Let me be really clear about this because it's the most common mistake. This is not a checklist. This is an interconnected system. The question isn't, hey, did we check the box on our pricing strategy? The question is, does our pricing strategy reinforce the exact same meaning as our product design and our company culture? Now that is a leadership-level question. And that brings us to the ultimate point of all this. Using this framework requires a fundamental shift in how we think as leaders. It's a shift away from just managing a bunch of silo tactics and a move toward the deliberate, intentional architecture of meaning.
This leads us to what might be the central insight for any executive team. Your brand is not built by your marketing department. It's built in the C-suite. It is forged by the core business decisions you make every single day.
Decisions about what you will and won't offer, how you price things, how your organization behaves, where you choose to compete. At the end of the day, promotion can only amplify the meaning that those core business decisions have already created.
This really summarizes that whole mindset shift. We have to move from just optimizing individual tactics to ensuring coherence across the entire system. We have to move away from focusing on controlling a message to truly understanding how all of our actions are going to be interpreted. And we have to elevate our thinking from just tactics to the underlying structure that produces all of them.
So ultimately, what this all means is that brand isn't some task you can just delegate. It's a leadership system. It's a way to ensure your entire organization is aligned around creating one single, coherent, and powerful meaning in the world. It is a central responsibility of everyone sitting at that leadership table. Full stop.
So I'll leave you with this one final question to think about. When you really look at your own organization, are you just managing messages, or are you as a leadership team truly and intentionally architecting meaning?